Universal purpose of human existence. This is actually kind of a fun one. I was contemplating life, considering what appears to be very different perspectives amongst different people and cultures and religions. What is life really all about? Why does it seem so different? And isn't there commonality? Isn't there a common foundation or common threads? It seemed like there had to be. We all want to do our daily routines in peace. We all want to have our basic needs met. We want to care about other people and have them care about us. We want meaning and purpose. So what are these common threads or foundations, and can we get back to one fundamental starting point? So let's take radically different perspectives on life and trace things upstream and go deeper and see if we can't sort some of that out. So the fundamental question I started with was, what do people ultimately want out of life or existence? What do they think it's about? And in fact, yes, we actually do get to a universal truth point, this common foundation. But let me pose it to you as a question, so you can have some of the joy of discovery also. And if someone else is talking with you about this, try not to give them the answer to the riddle. Let them have some of the discovery process also. So here's the riddle. All major world religions, atheists, and neuroscientists all believe in the same desired outcome of human existence. What is it? So let's walk through this a little bit and then give you another chance to consider this. Major religions. What is the desired outcome? What is the objective to be obtained? Well, in the vast majority of world religions, it's some form of heaven or nirvana. In Islam, it's Jannah, some form of paradise. And what's interesting is that they are, for the most part, remarkably similar. There is peace, there is satisfaction, there are good things to eat, there's no pain or conflict, there's good people, nice things. Atheists, no afterlife, this is it, it's a material world. What do atheists want out of their this is it existence? They want to enjoy life as much as possible, generally speaking. A neuroscientist, what will a neuroscientist tell you we are wired for at the most basic level? Okay, you got all those in mind? Apparently conflicting, but starting to see some similarities? So the hint is that this is a single, irreducible concept word that is the answer to this riddle. Now, go ahead and hit pause, take your time, wait a few minutes, wait a few days if you like, or until you absolutely can't stand it anymore, then come on back. Go ahead and hit pause or stop now. Okay, welcome back. Did you exercise your brain in this discovery process? Thinking through it will actually make this much more, not only rewarding, but actually much more useful. You'll get it more. So what makes paradise paradise? Why would I want to have a continued existence in that context? Why do atheists want a paradise on earth? What is the neuroscientific understanding of desiring paradise? One of the big ahas or clues in this process, paradise is often described as a Garden of Eden. That's what the Bible refers to in the first part of the book. Do you know what Garden of Eden translated actually means? Direct translation, Garden of Pleasure. Pleasure is the purpose. Perpetual, uninterrupted pleasure is the desired outcome. In the religious context, God's purpose was and is that one would thoroughly enjoy their existence on every level. Now, it's really important how we understand pleasure. Not just the modern English culturally nuanced understanding of pleasure that's really about just the physical, but pleasure as a whole person. Remember we talked about the neuron, pleasure on every level and every aspect. We're talking physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, vertical connection-wise, horizontal connection-wise, that every part of our existence would be enjoyable. And number two, that it is sustainable, which fundamentally, going back to the neuron model, means functioning from the inside out, not short-circuiting the system by attempting to achieve this state from the outside in. it fundamentally doesn't work. So a lot of this comes down to what's actually sustainable. And you will find many people attempting to achieve this through a variety of ways. Many of them don't work out so well. It's also really important to understand, is pleasure the direct objective, or is pleasure a byproduct or an outcome? People that generally pursue pleasure as the direct objective are doing the outside in. It doesn't work, the system self-destructs, and it's really not very pleasurable. Now, when pleasure is an outcome or product of a sustainable or optimized life process, that works all day long, day in and day out. Take, for example, altruism, random act of kindness. Say your objective is simply to help somebody else with no thought of what you're going to get out of it, no reward, no payment. The product, byproduct, outcome is a great sense of satisfaction and happiness, generally speaking. That's very pleasurable. It is also really important, again in the neuron context, to understand that the deeper pleasures are the greater pleasures, such as what this translates into: the physical exists to serve the deeper aspects of our being. Physical pleasures are lesser pleasures compared to the deeper pleasures, the emotional, mental, spiritual, social pleasures. No one strives for the summation of their life on their tombstone to read, "ate his broccoli every day," as a behavior. We need to use a framework of appropriate priorities in practice where the person, as a human being, and their thriving as a whole person, is the priority, not the lifestyle behaviors. Those are there to support, again, the connection. That's what a neuron exists for. We exist to connect, to support this whole health such that we live a full, vibrant life in community, in connection with others. Yes, there is a universal truth, a universal foundation. We all want to enjoy our existence as much as possible. The irreducible concept is pleasure, whole person pleasure. So when you're working with a patient, you can consider this for yourself, but in this context, working for patients. What is going on with the pain or the pleasure balance in those different aspects for this person? And keep in mind that emptiness is a kind of pain. It's a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. How full is someone's cup, and with what? Pain, pleasure, emotional, mental, social, and what they have been doing, trying to achieve some level of less pain and more pleasure, some homeostasis relative to their design. How well is that working for them or not working for them? Are they interested in trying to do something different to get a better result? Now, there's a huge amount of clinical application examples we could go into. We'll do that elsewhere, another video. Very, very practical. Again, you can use a neuron model. You can use the tree of my life to look at the big picture. You can use Vitalities to get the current snapshot. But to understand what's going on with a given individual in terms of their pain, their pleasure, their emptiness in those different components as they're trying to fulfill what their existence is about. So we give to you the universal purpose of human existence understanding. If you use this as a functional framework, that we all ultimately are designed for whole person inside out pleasure, it will radically transform your approach to patients and healthcare. You will be person-centric instead of behavior-centric. It's not about the broccoli.